I am Guneet Kaur, and here I am going to present and give a brief overview on IELTS writing. So, IELTS academic writing requires you to respond to two question prompts in 1 hour. If you've been studying for the IELTS already, you probably know that IELTS academic task 1 and task 2 are quite different. Here's a breakdown of the basic differences. So, as far as task 1 is concerned, it is basically report writing based on visual data, while an essay requires you to write a formal essay based on a given statement or question. As far as task 1 is concerned, we have 8 question types, which I will be covering in detail in my subsequent slides. While sorry. While task 2 requires you to prepare for 12 question types, the word limit for task 1 is minimum 150 words and you can range up to 200 words. While for essay, the minimum word limit is 250 words and you can range it up to 300 words. So ensure that we are within the word limit, else it will negatively impact your band score. Task 1 requires you to spend 20 minutes, while task 2 requires you to spend 40 minutes. Moving ahead, as far as task 1 is concerned, there as far as task 1 is concerned, you are basically required to demonstrate certain skill sets, which are: you should be able to describe facts and figures, describe trends, summarize and group information, compare data, and describe a process. Moving on to the various question types. So you have a line graph, you have a bar graph. Sometimes it is also seen that IELTS also gives a proportionate bar graph. Then we have a table, multiple charts. Now when I talk of multiple charts could be a combination of pie, line, table or bar. Apart from that, you can also get a map question followed by floor plans and a process diagram. So as a student preparing for IELTS, you are required to know all these 8 question types and any one will be seen in your IELTS exam. Moving on to breakdown for task 2. So like I mentioned in my previous slides, there are 12 essay types and you will be getting any one of these 12 types. So let's go through what these 12 types are. The first essay that you can get is an agree disagree essay. As the name suggests, it is clearly that your opinion needs to be stated in support with your arguments. The second essay type which you can experience in your IELTS exam is a what extent essay, which is again an essay. An opinion is required, however it is clearly asking you to give the extent or the degree of your agreement or disagreement. So in these kind of essays, you can either completely agree, completely disagree, or you may also give a balanced viewpoint wherein you are 50% in agreement or 50% disagreement. Apart from that, you'll also be required to prepare, discuss both views and give your opinion. So as the name suggests, basically you are presented with two viewpoints which contradict each other. Your job is to basically discuss both these viewpoints, and in addition the essay is also asking your personal opinion that out of the two viewpoints, which viewpoint do you favor. Moving ahead, another essay type that you can get in your IELTS exam is this a positive or a negative development? So with these kind of essays, you will be given a statement and you will be asked to choose either something is negative or a positive development or a trend. So again, the instruction is clearly asking for an opinion which must be incorporated in your essay. Moving ahead, the next essay type is what are the advantages and disadvantages and give your opinion. So here this question type basically requires you to discuss the benefits and the drawbacks based on the statement given. In addition, you are also asked to give your opinion. So this essay may also not ask you to give your opinion. So basically there are two kinds of merits and demerits essay. One essay might require you to give an opinion, and another type what would be that it need not ask you to give an opinion. Moving ahead, the next essay type is, do the advantages outweigh the disadvantages? Now, this is an essay type which is very commonly seen in the Ielts exam. This essay basically requires you to consider and discuss the positive and the negative side of an issue, and then decide which side you believe is more important. Moving ahead, the next three essay types are quite similar in nature. So they basically, these kind of essays, first is the cause and effect essay. In this type of essay, basically you're given a problem and you're asked to state the main reasons of the problem and discuss the possible effect or the impacts. Moving ahead, the next essay type is, what are the causes and solutions? In this essay, you need to discuss the causes in regards to a particular topic and then suggest possible solutions or remedies to these problems. Moving ahead, we have also have problems and solutions. So in this kind of an essay, one needs to discuss the problems with regards to a particular topic and then suggest possible remedies or solutions. The last essay type is a two-part question, also commonly known as a double question. So these kind of essays are slightly difficult when compared to the other essay types, as you won't be given a direct task but some general question based on these questions, and you'll need to write the essay. So as the name suggests, two-part. So you are presented with a question prompt, and that question prompt will have two direct questions which need to be addressed in the essay. Moving on, there are various topics that an IELTS student needs to prepare during their journey. First and foremost is art. So there are around 24 to 25 topics a student must have general awareness of. One is art, business and money, communication and personality, crime and punishment, education, family, food, government and politics, health, housing, language, leisure and free time, media and advertising, reading, society, space exploration, sports and exercise, technology, tourism, transport and traffic, work, genetic engineering, robotics and automation, environment and healthcare. That's all from my end. I'll be back again soon with a new Power Packed video for you all. Thank you and have a great day.